Hi guys, Melissa DeLang here. I am here to share with you something near and dear to my heart that I feel called to share. So let me give you just a little background. I know it's late. I'm sitting here, it's 11, it's past 11 at night, and I'm sitting in my living room. I just showered, I'm ready for bed. And I have felt over the last several months like I should make a post and a video and talk about my experience, my recent experience with my 7th pregnancy that ended in a miscarriage. And it's something that's been sitting in my mind, stewing there for a while, and I keep thinking, well, how should I talk about it? Like, this is something, anyway, I've been asking myself a lot of questions and trying to figure out how to talk about it, but I feel kind of called to do it. So here I am. I decided tonight I wasn't going to put it off any longer, and I was just going to do it. So here I am, and what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to do a series of videos describing my experience with loss and miscarriages in particular. So the purpose of this video is to kind of just give you an introduction to me, let you know who I am, because some of you may or may not know me, and to just kind of give you a window into what my purpose is behind all of this. So I actually wrote some notes, so I hope you don't mind that I'm going to refer to them a little bit. So recently, a friend of mine started doing a meditation practice, and she invited me to participate with her, and I started doing it, and this is something that has been really kind of life-changing for me. It's really, really, really cool. And so I meditate at night or in the morning when I'm nursing my baby to sleep, or when he's waking up but he's not quite awake and he's nursing. And so it's a quiet time that I have in my bed with my baby, and it's just, there's no expectation of me. There's nothing I need to be doing other than just being there present for my baby, and it's a super sweet time. Anyway, as I've been meditating during this time, I've had a few realizations, and have you ever been one of those people, like, have you ever been called to do something, or you feel like you're supposed to do something and you know what it is but you're afraid to do it, or you don't know why or how or whatever? Well, this is one of those things. So this has been something that's kind of been developing in my mind through my meditation, and so that's how this series is being born. So I feel like it's really important, and my purpose is well, my number one purpose is to honor myself and what I feel like I'm being called to do, or being like what my inner self is asking me to do, or God. And so that's my number one purpose, to just honor myself. My number two purpose is that I'm hoping that this will help somebody else, and maybe that person is just me. Maybe I just need to talk about it this way, and this is going to be something for me. Who knows? Maybe it will be twofold. Maybe it's going to be somebody else and me. But anyway, I do have hopes that somebody else will resonate with what I share with you. And I'm just going to be really raw and real, and that's why you're seeing me tonight, with no makeup on, ready to go to bed, just out of the shower, and just me. You're just going to see me, and I'm just going to talk. So I hope this will be useful to somebody. Okay, so what my plan is I'm planning to talk about each miscarriage that I've been through, and I'm going to do this over a series of weeks. And so I have had 7 pregnancies, and so I'm going to talk about each one, and tonight I'm just going to give you the intro to myself and kind of my history a little bit. And my plan for right now is that I will do them on Thursday nights. Since tonight's Thursday, I'll just do it again next week, and I'll talk about miscarriage number 1 next week, and we'll go from there. And if you want to join me, I would love to see you on here live. And if you have anybody that you think could benefit from this, I would love to see them on here live. And if not, that's fine too. If I'm just talking to myself, I'm talking to myself, and that's super cool. So anyway, so let's see. So I talked about that. You don't mind me referring to my notes here, right? Okay, a little bit about me. So you know me. Some of you know me. Some of you don't. Who knows? I don't know who this is going to reach. This is public. So my name is Melissa DeLang, as I said before, and I am 39 years old, and I have a beautiful baby boy, an 11-month-old, and he is super sweet. And I guess to give you just a little background on my religious experience, this might be useful because this will be contextual as I talk about how I feel about different things. I'm a Mormon. Some of you are probably thinking, she's a Mormon, I don't know if I want to listen anymore. And that's totally fine. Some of you are thinking, oh, she's Mormon, that's interesting. And some of you are thinking, oh, I'm Mormon, she's Mormon, that's cool. So whatever you're thinking, I love you, and that's cool. Whatever you think is fine, is totally fine. But I will talk a little bit about how I see my higher power, because this is a really big piece of my miscarriages, and so I will refer to that there, and I think it might be useful for you guys to know that I am a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I am Mormon. So I got married when I was 32, and for Mormons, that's pretty old, actually. Just to give you kind of a picture, if you're not an LDS member, or LDS, if you're not LDS, if you're not Mormon, if you're not a member of the church, that's how kind of we refer to it, then you might not know, but Mormons get married often very young, and they often have a lot of children. So I come from a family of 7 kids, and of all my brothers and sisters, all of them were married by the age of 22, including my parents. They were married by the age of 22, and they all just started having kids right away. So I was a little bit of an outlier in my culture, and I didn't get married till I was 32, and that was great. It was perfect for me. It was great. But ever since I was a little kid, I've had a desire to be a mom. I love little kids. There's something really special about kids, and it's just been something that's been important to me. So I have always looked forward to being a mother. So I got married at 32, and then we waited for a year before we started trying to have kids, because it was just something we wanted to get to know each other and spend some time just with us and not having to worry about kids yet. So a year later, we decided to see if we could have a child, and I got pregnant right away, and then I miscarried. And so I'm going to talk more in depth about that next week, but that's just kind of to give you a background of the beginnings. And since that time, I have had 5 miscarriages, 1 stillbirth, and 1 live birth. So that's the gist of it. And I know one of the things that I learned when I had my first miscarriage is that it's actually really common. And I think the doctor, if I remember correctly, the doctor that I was working with at that time said that it's statistically, or reported, I guess, 1 in every 8 to 9 pregnancies ends in a miscarriage, but they actually think it's more like 1 in every 4. It's just that reported it's 1 in every 8, 1 in every 9. So this is actually a really, really common thing. And if you are a woman and you have ever been pregnant, it's likely that you've had a miscarriage and you've experienced loss. And I think everybody deals with it a little bit differently. It's not necessarily, you know, we don't all go through the same experience, but I think there are similar things that we go through. Sorry, my hair is bugging me here. There are similar things that we go through that we can relate to each other on. And my personal experience is that when I go through loss, I turn inward for a period of time first. Very deeply inward. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to deal with anybody, it's like this inward process of processing what's going on. And then after a period of time, I open up and I talk to people about it. And it actually is really therapeutic for me to talk about it after I've gone through that inward process first, personally. In fact, it's something, these experiences are so raw, real, hard, that I treasure, actually, the time I have inward, like it's mine. I don't want to share it with anybody at the beginning. But later, I do feel the need to share it, and it's very therapeutic for me to share it. And also, I have found that it helps people to, people have appreciated when I share. So, awesome. And another thing about me, just personally, is that one of my very favorite things to do in life is to feel different emotions and to connect with people. And it manifests itself on a lot of different levels. I have a lot of friends. I love people. I love to get to know people. I really haven't met a single person in my life that I didn't love once I got to know them. I feel like everybody just has gold inside, and you just some people it's very visible right away, and some people you got to dig a little, right? But anybody that I've taken the time to get to know, I've just loved. And so I love to connect with people. I love to understand people. I love to see how they tick, and I love to relate. I love to find similarities and differences and just connect. I love connections. And so my purpose also in this is to connect with you and get to know some of you, hopefully, and hopefully for you to connect with me. One of the things that I found in one of my losses in particular, it happened to be my stillbirth, I wanted to know that I wanted to know other people's experiences. And what happened was, and I'll talk about this in more depth when I talk about this particular one, people came out of the woodworks in so many ways and connected with me on so many levels. So I had people that I hadn't spoken with since college, for 10, 15 years, send me things, let me know that they had gone through the same thing and this is what helped them. I had people pray for me, people, bless me. There were all these really cool things that happened that really helped me to feel connected. And that was really important to me in my healing process. So anyway, I'll talk in depth, as I said, about that when we get to that loss. That was my stillbirth. So that's going to be week number 5, I think. Anyway, so let's see. I told you a little bit about myself. I told you I love connecting and what my process is. I told you what my purpose is. I want to invite feedback. If you are listening to this and you feel inclined to share something or share this with somebody, don't hesitate to comment, to share your experience, to share this with somebody that it might help, or to let me know, ask questions if you want to know more. I'm really open. Well, I am. I'm really open about this, and but it is tricky. Like I haven't talked about it online yet because it's been something that I don't really know how to go about. So that's, I guess, why I'm asking for feedback. If you have questions or things you want to know, then ask me, and we'll be happy to share with you. There's really nothing that's a secret. In fact, one of the experience was pretty graphic. The experiences of loss was pretty graphic, and I'm going to go ahead and be pretty honest about what happened to me physically. And I just think that might be useful for some people, and it's something I feel the need to share. So I'm going to share it. So anyway, I'll let you know about that as time goes on and things move forward. But anyway, I hope you'll connect with me. I hope you'll share this with people that you feel like could use it. And I'm excited to honor my inner voice and share with you what I feel called really to share with you. Let me see. it looks like I swipe left to see my viewers, so I'm going to see if there's anybody right here who wants to, I guess that's it. If anybody has any questions right now, I'm happy to talk or answer them. Nope. Sorry guys, I'm kind of new to this live thing. But anyway, just to update some of you who are coming on now, I'm talking about my miscarriages, and I'm going to do this on Thursday nights. Well, let me tell you this. I'm going to say Thursday nights right now, and it's probably going to be later after I get my son to bed. But things, I am running a business from my home, and sometimes I may have to do classes on Thursday nights or whatever. So there may be some flux and some flexibility, but for right now, I'm going to just go ahead and plan on doing this every Thursday night for the next, let's see, I've had 7 pregnancies, so for the next 7 weeks. And I hope you'll join me. So anyway, I guess that's it. If you have any questions, please feel free to put it up here or to comment. And Thursday nights live. Thanks for connecting with me, and I hope y'all have a really good night. Good night.